That's couldn't have put it better myself. So.
Right. All right, so again, we will see that car on Saturday doing a little couple burnies, little things, but Shinji Manoa will be ripping around. Right now, speaking of ripping around, we got Fiorella with, we're talking about the one and only Federico Sciarrifo going against Jack Shanahan. Shanahan knows his conditions. We always definitely toot that Irish horn, but Fiorella, this big old Ferrari, could definitely handle the wet as well. Jack Shanahan, he's surging forward, maybe just keep it consistent as opposed to surging that BMW tight and right. And we can see Federico Sciarrifo looks like he is very settled, comfortable in this Ferrari, pulling around the track. And that was probably, you know, I feel obligatory to say that. But now Jack Shanahan out front of Federico Sciarrifo. Let's see how he manages, see how he handles, and see if what I said comes to fruition. Transitions into and across the nose of the Ferrari, and there we go, Jack Shanahan. This is what I expected, that 59, the BMW, great looking car. Nice little pocket rocket coming into that second outside zone, and look at that Federico Sciarrifo. That big old Ferrari making that BMW look like just that. Goes up, hits that K-rail, and you can see that K-rail jumps the car up, but he keeps on keeping on. In that last outside zone, Shanahan, I mean, absolutely. Like I said, you know, these are the states, you know, I mean, here we are traveling, but we're not having to jump behind the wheel of a car. We haven't, you know, so here it is, one more time, very deserved. Moving on and back to the one more time battle of Federico Sciarrifo and Jack Shanahan. Here comes Federico Sciarrifo. And there is Shanahan, tip to tail. Yeah, the new tires, I mean, why not? So there's smoke, there's a little bit of steam, and there is definitely some debris in the windscreen. Now coming into that third outside zone, look at Fetty, you see minimal corrections going to that third outside zone. Very well calculated there. You can see the bright yellow gloves working his way on in into that last outside zone, and Shanahan tucking in.
Yeah, we were excited. I was going to shave my head for the occasion.
You're going to see, oh, I'd love to see that. Actually, Jacob, under the beanie, he is bald. Everybody just let it be told, under the beanie, he is bald. All right, here we go. Let's change the order here. Jack Shanahan out front, Federico Sciarrifo in the chase position. In that first outside zone, as I said, that's the Shanahan we know and love. And now Fetty, he gives it back. He twists the screws. They might be Italian, but yeah, they're screws nonetheless. It's a spicy meatball coming in sideways. Now Jack Shanahan in that third outside zone, navigating to the fourth. No one more times. They're going to force an opinion upon the judges and upon you. Here we go. Shanahan, Fetty. Man,
this comes together for these two drivers.
Slide him left for Fetty, right for Jack Shanahan, and Shanahan wins again. And, right? Yeah. Okay. So Shanahan. Problem comes along, you must fix it. Here we go. So Shanahan out front, talking about Jack and Burkett coming in. Look at the swing of, I feel like maybe the handbrake isn't fixed and that's why he's throwing so much angle to slow down the car. Or, I mean, he is ripping right now. Jack Shanahan, smoke machine. Look at that wheel speed. He is jumping up there.
I'm not now coming in. Wheels lock.
Rad Dan Burkett. Yeah, I think he might just be clutch kicking in. Yep. So if you ever see Matt's,
tickle him.
Tickle. Yeah. It's just open dialogue. All right, here we go. And that is not Nick Novak nor Rudy Hansen. It is Dan Burkett and Jack Shanahan. And there it is, the Rad Industries Mark IV Super coming on in. Let's see how Shanahan from the rear handles it with no handbrake. Not getting very handsy, but he is getting that big angle. And Shanahan, look, we don't need no stinking handbrake. Look at this. So, but Dan Burkett, great angle from him, a good lead run. And Shanahan massages it on in. Big angle from Dan Burkett, bringing it on home. And a good effort.
See what they end up coming up with here.
Perfect fit. One more time, and uno mas.
For a period of time now.
Shanahan Burkett, who is going against Novak in the finals. Which one's it going to be? And we got a clear start. Shanahan, we got drier conditions, not absolutely 100% bone dry, but Shanahan rips in that first outside zone. Yo, look at Dan Burkett. Absolutely just flinging that thing to the side. This looks like a final in Saturday's main event. Shanahan places that car properly in outside zone 3. Burkett has to hold up. You saw him just hold composure there, and it ended up not working. He was kind of Shannon no hands.
Steering with the right foot. Stall throttle.
What's up? I brake with no bicycles. What's up? I can ride my right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So the great song. All right, Dan Burkett, but Shanahan now, it looks like the regardless of the handbrake, he does not have the proximity Dan Burkett in that second outside zone, places the car properly. Shanahan now gains some ground. Burkett puts it into that outside zone 3. Shanahan bounces. He goes all over the place. But keep in mind, Burkett did have that mistake in that last outside zone.
Personally, and you know, if I'm asking for it, maybe somebody else is.
Dan Burkett gets the victory. All right, well, there we are looking at Jonathan Castro and Jack Shanahan. Dominican Republic versus Ireland, Toyota versus BMW, two very talented drivers. Jonathan Castro get his first ever podium, and here we are into that first outside zone. As we now go into that second outside zone, now into, you can see Shanahan tucking in to the side of the 86. Man, that BMW is small, but it makes that 86 look small as well. The Methyl Dom 86, now last outside zone, he slides on in, and Shanahan tucks in. Man, the chase, a certain punch up that Connor has.
Yeah, Connor really likes to get in tight for the transition, whereas Jack will fall back a little bit and then dive in. Connor, he's running bumpers every time.
All right, like I said, couldn't put my finger on it, but sounds like a Canadian finger. Here we go, Mr. Shanahan leading now, and Castro into the second outside zone. You can see Shanahan, good angle. Want to see that overhead view of placement of Castro's car. Looks like he's a little late to the party. Outside zone 3, now transition to outside zone 4. That's what we're talking about. So you saw that handbrake. See how he coasted in outside zone 4? They really want to see him light on. So Castro was battling that. So hence why the feedback was there. So Castro gets his first ever podium in New Jersey, but Jack Shanahan, he's stoked. Be leading, or it should be Trenton Beecham. And again, taking a look at it. And okay, so here we go. As again, just want to make sure Jack Shanahan, Trenton Beecham, and here we go. Shanahan leading into that first outside zone. Trenton Beecham right there in the smoke. These guys entering in a second outside zone. Trent really applying the pressure. Like I said, when it comes together for him, he really shines. Jack using all of the outside zone 3. Trent, what the heck? He is absolutely, he's flirting with disaster there. And now here he is, you know, just slowly just gaining more and more ground. And he's proven not only his team, but himself on how talented of a driver is. So let's see it. Here we go. Trent Beecham's got the clean air. Jack Shanahan drops into formation. Again, that pink and white BMW. Trent Beecham in the second outside zone. You can see digging really deep. Just painting that outside line, going to outside zone 3. Minimal corrections from those front wheels. Transitioning through. There goes Trent. And look at that. Jack Shanahan tucked in. Back. Outside zone 1 and 4. And here we go. It's Jack Shanahan getting the victory unanimously. So Jack Shanahan moves on. Currently in second, and Frederick Osbo leading the pack. Here we go, the lights extinguish, and Adam LZ will lead. Jack Shanahan, I expect a big gangster entry, really risking it in that BMW in the chase position. Bang, right there, look at that. Old school, new school, and we are in the true school. Into that second outside zone, look at that big angle there from Adam LZ. Jack Shanahan, good proximity. Coming now in that third outside zone. There he is. Now he's lunging forward. Lets him pass on by an outside zone 4. I'm telling you right now, this is exactly what I expect. So now it'll be Jack Shanahan leading, Adam LZ chasing him down, and I'm sure we'll get that side-by-side instant replay just to refresh both us and the judge's memory. Here we go, Jack Shanahan. Initiating in that first outside zone, Adam LZ drops into formation. Adam LZ was talking about not getting ice, but looks like he is cool as a cucumber. In that second outside zone, whatever Jack does, Adam LZ twists the screws and gives it back. Third outside zone. Now, how are they going to handle this last and final outside zone 4? Contact by LZ and pushing Jack Shanahan out of lady. There's Connor in his pit, so slide him left for LZ. All right for Jack Shanahan. Takes down Adam LZ. Track addict talking about at the start line. The lights are on. They are Type S lights here in the final 4. Dylan the Dozer Hughes will lead. Jack Shanahan giving chase. An American versus an Irish. Here we go in that first outside zone. Dylan Hughes, good and settled. Shanahan lurking back in the shadows. Comes up a bit short, but great proximity. There is that. Let's see him allow that transition from 3 to 4. Boom, right across the nose of the BMW. In outside zone 4 goes Dylan Hughes. I'm telling you, as Dylan,
he can make up for this, and the question then becomes, you fill all those zones, you throw something wild, or try and do everything to shake off Dylan the Dozer Hughes. Oh, look at that to start.
Yeah, here we go, Jack Shanahan firing off, sans that front bump. Jack Shanahan, good angle, but Dylan Hughes in the chase position. This is what I was talking about. The victory is really going to be decided in that chase position, and Dylan Hughes gets into formation, good proximity. Is he mimicking it? I feel like we're going to get side by side, because look at that. Dylan Hughes bites off a little bit more than he could chew.
Together now.
Also, a great plug here. Check out the podcast, you and the Irish drivers all there. One more time, a Dylan Hughes, and a one more time. So the momentum here, just again, who is going against James in the final? Dylan Hughes, Jack Shanahan at pace. Let's see these BMWs initiate into that first outside zone. There goes Dylan Hughes, Shanahan tucking in. Really nothing to lose, going for that rookie of the year. Shanahan brings in a second outside zone. Great proximity from Shanahan. Look at that. Even more angle than Dylan, it seemed like. Coming that last outside zone, that 4 tucks it on in. Jack Shanahan comes up a bit short. Didn't time that round of competition. We still have those 3 left, so a lot of points still up for grabs. But here tonight, it is James Dean versus one of these guys. Jack Shanahan out front. He's going to need to put down a heater of a run into that first outside zone. Flirts with the edge of the track. Dylan Hughes chasing him down. Let's see how he manages in the second outside zone. Doesn't have the same degree of angle. Kind of give himself a little bit of room here. Let's see how it transitions in. And Shanahan goes in. Some wavering there by Dylan Hughes. Is that enough? He did eventually get to that finish. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Is it going to be an all-Irish final? Yes, it is! Jack Shanahan gets the victory. He's going to the finals of round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. James the Machine Dean will lead. Again, a 4-time champion, defending champion in that Pennzoil Ford Mustang. Here comes Jack Shanahan in tow in that BMW. James Dean across the nose of Shanahan. Shanahan drops back, slides back. Great angle from James Dean. Again, no tomfoolery, but Jack Shanahan dives in the inside. That is not where you want to be. Looks like he is buffering here in this situation. James Dean keeps pace. He knows exactly what he needs to do. Goes in outside zone 4. Textbook once again. Hence the name, The Machine.
Now, as these drivers pull to the line.
A great battle on deck. Jack Shanahan, he's going to try to force an error. James Dean, the finals are here. We know that an Irishman is going to win. Is it going to be Jack Shanahan on his rookie year getting a victory? Or is James the Machine Dean going to live up to his name once again and assume the tie for the points lead after round 5? Going to outside zone 3. Jack Shanahan puts it in the right place. James Dean tucks in nicely. James Dean applying the pressure. Looks like, again, he's not going to make a mistake. It looks like James Dean will be earning that. And your winner unanimously here in St. Louis, the Crossroads, is James the Machine Dean gets the win, and now is tied for the points lead and making history. Second place on his Formula Drift rookie season. Make some noise for Jack Shanahan. Second place.